name is Kate Sweetman, and I'm a principal at Sweetman Cragen. We're based in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States, and we do a reinvention. We work with individuals and organizations to help them go through large change quickly. Very honored that I've had the opportunity to speak and work all over the world, and that has largely resulted in my getting a Thinkers 50 award, not once but twice, so that's really exciting. That's due in part to the publishing that we've done as well. On a really practical level, we received a prize from the American Trainers Association for the Leadership Development Program in the United States with highest practical impact, which is a real honor because so many leadership programs are well received but don't have a lot of clout in the organization, and we really did make change happen. I have to give a lot of credit to my co-author Shane Cragen. He and I worked together on that very closely, and what inspired us was really the age that we live in. He comes out of a deep change background, I come out of a lot of leadership background, and we said, what is it that's so different about this time that we're in? And so it was really our deep exploration of why it's happening, what's happening, what gets in the way of being able to see the need for reinvention, and then how do you make it happen once you understand it. So we think of it as a field guide to reinvention, and we're really happy with how it came out. I think one of the most popular, well-received ideas that we have in our book is the 6 deadly blindfolds. And we call them the 6 deadly blindfolds because we are unable to see what is around us. We can't see it as individuals, and we can't see it as organizations. And so these are blindfolds like being unwilling to hear bad news, blindfolds like arrogance, blindfolds like not listening to the customer, blindfolds like not listening to our employees. So there are basic blindfolds that get in our way, that inhibit our ability to see what is right in front of our faces. Disruptive thinking is basically being willing to toss everything out the window because some new information has come in. And that's why these blindfolds are so important. We have a metaphor that we use called the message of mavericks, which is that there are shock waves coming at us, there are new ideas coming at us, and unless we are open to them, and open to the idea that they could be coming from anywhere, they could be coming from technology, they could be coming from society, they could be coming from government, they could be coming from just new ideas, and unless we are open to those and seeking those, we're not going to be able to reinvent. I think everyone today has to be open to the idea that they may have to reinvent at any time. Because even if you're in a very established business, it can change on you in a dime. And there are so many examples around us. So I think the best way to avoid failure is to be open to the idea that you may have to change. I had a very interesting experience. I was in Toronto and I was giving a talk. And before I got started, this young woman came running up to me and she said, I just want you to know, I love change. I embrace change. I can't wait for change to happen. And I said, that's great. I'd love to talk to you after my comments. So I gave my speech, 45 minutes or so, and she ran to the microphone and she was the first one to talk. And she said, I just want everyone to know I love change, I embrace change, I can't wait for change to happen. I said, that's great. I said, what's your comment? She said, what I want to know is, how do I make sure it doesn't affect my day? And so what I would say to anybody, of course, what I would say to anybody is, it's going to affect your day. In fact, the only way you can go through life is to realize that your days can be different. In fact, I would argue your days should be different. Not everything every day, but if you're doing the same thing every day, all day, you are not going to learn anything, you're not going to grow, you're not going to expand. And what makes you think that today is the best day you could ever possibly have? So what I said to her was, you know what, it's going to affect your day, and you should actually embrace that. And it's going to affect your relationships, and it's going to affect your routine, and it's going to affect what you know, and it's going to affect who you know, and it's going to affect your skills and your tools and over time. But you may come out at the end of the next year this incredibly more capable and able person, and you're going to find that change is actually a pretty wonderful thing. there's no greater source of power, I think, than just passion. Human desire, wanting to do things. We all hear about mothers lifting Volkswagens off of children, right? That's passion. That is the passion of love, and it is an incredible, incredible power. So if we can find ways to help people to tap into their own emotional attachment to each other and to the work, it's incredible what we can do. And I can give you story after story about how that's happened. Innovation, people often associate with a product or a service, right? They're going to come out, they're going to reinvent their, whatever it is that they're selling. They're going to innovate whatever it is that they're selling. A reinvention can happen throughout the organization. You can be reinventing your HR processes, right? You can be reinventing how you think about you interview people. You can reinvent anywhere along the value chain. And so I think that it's an important distinction, because it's not just innovation of the product or service that you're offering to the customer, but it's actually looking at every single thing that you do and saying, how can we do it better, differently, more effectively, and just be open to whatever that answer is. My one piece of advice to HR people is to own what an incredible position that you're in, because this is a people-driven revolution. Ultimately, you can have any technology change that you want, but if the people don't embrace it and run with it and go with it, it doesn't matter. So ultimately, no matter what happens in the organization, it's going to come down to the people. And so if the HR people can really think about, who do we need in this organization? What do they need to know? How do they need to connect to each other? What can unleash their greatest passion? What's standing in their way? What blindfolds might be, in a superabundance in this organization that we need to help take off? I think now really is the time of HR. It really and truly is the time of HR, because this all comes down to people and culture and openness and willingness to change.